We're at the Africa Tech Festival 2025, and the Beast is in the house. Tendai, lovely to have you here. It was so inspirational. Before we get into some of the content, we're recording this a week after that phenomenal game that the Springboks managed to achieve against France. A special one for Sia, a special one for Rassi. Were you watching it, and what did you make of the game?
Yeah, firstly, an awesome honor to be here at the Africa Tech Festival. So, yeah, really grateful to be able to share my story and engage with, some new people. Yes, on that game specifically, I was there in France. So, I'm actually here after my flight, my long haul flight from Paris, and I connected to Cape Town this morning. So, yeah, pretty much it was a incredible performance for the boys. There was a lot of motivation. From the box team, because obviously they were playing for Sia in his big 100th. And the French on their side, they wanted to salvage some pride after what happened in 2023. But just to see, the boys step up and handle the pressure in the way they did is so inspirational. And I'm so proud, because the legacy is continuing. They're just going from strength to strength. And I don't see this team losing anytime soon.
Neither do I. You are one of the most capped Springboks, I think fourth actually, in the history of Springboks. But it almost didn't happen.
Yes, yeah, no, it's crazy. I still pinch myself to this day to actually realize that I played so many test matches and I'm a fourth most capped player for a time. It almost didn't happen in 2010 when the Minister of Sport decided to pull me back because I didn't qualify or I didn't have South African citizenship, but I'd qualified under the IRB laws, the World Rugby laws, that states that if you live in a country for 3 or more years, then you can play for that country. So it was quite a tough moment in my career, but I'm glad that I stuck to it. I stuck to my guns because there was almost that lure to go up north to France and cash in, but in the end, I was able to keep on believing that a miracle would happen, and it eventually did. After a couple months, the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu came alongside me, and he helped me realize my citizenship. They told me it would take me 12 years. It took me a total of 6 weeks, which was quite remarkable, and I was able to come back and play. And then fast forward a couple years later, become a world champion, and obviously be the fourth most capped player. So yeah, just a true testimony of sticking to my guns and just believing that things will come right, and they did.
How did a young man growing up in Zimbabwe who started off playing football think rugby is the future and South Africa is the future?
Yeah, so obviously, yes, football is a passion. I'm still a Manchester United fan. I was since I was a kid. I mustn't say that out loud. I know I'm going to be judged for it. But, I loved soccer, but I definitely could not play soccer. So I found my home on the rugby field, and it became somewhat of a passion for me. And at the age of 15, 16 years old, the whole country, Zimbabwe, they knew my name purely because of the talent that I showcased on the field. And a lot of people told me that if I took it seriously enough, I could really achieve a professional career. So that brings me to South Africa. Obviously in Zim, there was no professional league. So, I looked, to South Africa for a lot of inspiration. I followed a lot of local players like Gary Tashman, Bobby Skinstad, because I was a loose forward in that time. So I always aspired to be like them. So that's where that passion for South Africa, started, and I started look to coming to SA. And at that time, we were privileged with the Zimbabwean rugby team, the under-18s, that we came here and played Craven Week. So we got a taste of what South African rugby is like. We came and we didn't win many matches, but I was always able to kind of show my strength and showcase my abilities, and that's how I got scouted by the Sharks in the end. So it was that seed that was planted from that time when I was 16 years old, and obviously realizing that dream was almost surreal. I became an adopted, son of South Africa purely because of the talent that I had and the gift I had in sport, and it just showed that it bridges beyond nationalities, your background, your race, color, whoever you might be. Sport brings us together, and that's what it ultimately did for me. And I was able to become obviously a legend in the game for South Africa purely because I was given a chance, and I'm so grateful for it.
And what is amazing and inspirational about you is that you're using that legendary status post your professional career in rugby. And we should note you're still involved in mentorship with the Sharks team and all of that. But you're in business, and more importantly, you started a foundation that you hope will realize a massive difference for this continent.
Yes, it was always about paying it forward. Along my journey, when I look back, I was a benefactor of so much generosity, so much kindness. I spoke about, the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu, the influence he had on my career, and there were many others, that invested in me and that propelled me forward to be able to achieve my ultimate dream of being a world champion. So through that, the dream of creating a foundation and paying it forward was birthed. And I'm privileged now to say after 5-6 years of the Beast Foundation being in existence, we are really making an impact across Africa. It was always about empowering the youth across Africa through sport and education. I truly believe that this continent is a hub for talent, for creativity, for innovation, and we need to play our role in investing in our youth and giving them the quality education they so deserve, and setting them up for success. So yeah, it's like the greater part of my legacy to help, the youth of Africa, something that I'm very intentional about, even in my role as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. I travel extensively across the continent, just advocating for the youth. So yeah, I'm really passionate about this kind of work, and it's given me new meaning and purpose.
Yeah. Your vision, your goal for the foundation is to impact on 1 million youth in Africa by 2030, I believe. Technology will play an essential part in unlocking a lot of that unrealized value that is contained in those young people. How do you see it playing a role?
Yeah, I think, as we look at the world today, technology is an essential part of what we do. It makes the world a much smaller place. So for us to be able to, to reach out to the beneficiaries we want to, we're going to need technology. We're working with youth from, disadvantaged, communities, marginalized communities, and we need, technology to be able to access those areas, internet, you name it, and we need to, to be able to bring those youth to the fore so that they're part of the solution. So yeah, technology definitely has a massive role to play. I spoke about the coding program, like for instance, we're getting involved in next year in Zimbabwe. It's really like revolutionized, Zim and the way those young people think, and made them employable, made them be able to access some opportunities, global opportunities. So we can only do that through technology, through embracing AI, and obviously equipping our young people with the tools that they need to thrive. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to sneak in a cheeky question. The Springboks are facing Italy this coming weekend at the time of recording, and then Ireland, and then Wales. Are the Springboks going to beat all three teams?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, they're unstoppable right now. Yeah.
And don't worry, we'll edit it out if they don't. The Beast, thank you very much. Lovely to have you here.
No,
man.
thank you.